And I don't, it's Mr. Credico.
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you. Yes.
Please join us.
Oh, thank you very much. Great to be here.
So, welcome to the Schomburg Center.
Thank you. It's nice to be back here. Last time I was here was in 2002. I had just gotten back from Tulia, Texas, working on the Tulia 46 drug case where African American community was completely destroyed by this racist drug sting. And we came over here and presented the case. And, everyone eventually got out of jail. And we talked about it right here.
So I think it's probably clear just from the opening statement that that you are to the left of the current administration on issues of criminal justice.
On everything.
Would you like to?
There's nothing about the Schomburg administration that I like, other than the fact that he'll be gone in 8 months. That's about it.
So that being said, rather than sort of...
And I would fire Ray Kelly immediately, all right? And I would open up his books, I would look into his books. I'd like to find out who he's keeping surveillance on in this city, why he's been there for 12 years. He is a modern-day J. Edgar Hoover, and he's got way too much control in one of the most racist administrations to ever come along. All right, am I to the left? Yes, all right. Just thought I'd throw that teaser out.
So I think, again, rather than doing this somewhat mechanically, how about we say, how do you plan? So I'll ask you two-part question. What would be the top 3 criminal justice issues, practically speaking, with legislative and city council support that you would change? Top 3. And how would you politically develop the kind of constituencies to make that agenda possible in the city?
Well, I think that there is a lot of anger out there, not just with stop and frisk. Stop and frisk is a no-brainer. It's a Fourth Amendment issue. It should not be done. It's like, because it's a bunch of white cops coming in from Long Island. They're roided up. They're racist. They come in and they basically like slave catchers in wake of the fugitive slave law, how they would go into Pennsylvania, they would go into New York and poach black free people and bring them back to the South. That's what's going on right now. That's the kind of police department that you have. These are not cops. They're bouncers, basically, all right? These are guys that are, like I said, they're on steroids. They're coming in from Long Island, going into East New York. They're humiliating the black community. So stop and frisk is just one thing. You got to get no more cops from Long Island. In fact,
no more Long Island?
No. Well, let them stay there. How about if we send a bunch of black officers from Harlem out to Long Island and let them go through their community and, seriously, or go to Wall Street. Let's send a bunch of African American cops that are trained in Jamaica, Queens, and send them down to Wall Street and shake them down for drugs. That's what I would do. That's one thing. So the stop and frisk is one element of it. You have to go down, like I spent my time petitioning in front of 100 Center Street the last couple of days. And I spent a lot of time down there. And it makes you sick to go down there, to stand in front of 100 Center Street, because inside you're going to have a racist cop lying on the witness stand, and you see one black kid or one Latino kid or an older Latino or black woman being dragged in by 4 or 5 cops in white, just repeatedly. You see it every 5 minutes. I call it a modern slave auction block. That's what I call 100 Center Street. That's what I call the Brooklyn Supreme Court, where I spent time today as well. Because that's what they're doing. The criminal justice system is rotten from top to bottom. The judges, I would change the way the judges are selected. One of the worst things that Christine Quinn did by having another 4 years was to reappoint some of the most racist judges. One of them would be Judge McLaughlin. He's a guy who, everyone know who Judge McLaughlin is, who excoriated the brothers of Robert Lee Graham. And said that they were responsible for his death instead of the Richard Fatts who murdered him. All right? And what I would do is I would change the way the district attorney's office, they have 97% of the assistant DAs in Manhattan are white. All right? And all of the people going through the system are black and Latino. It makes you sick to go down there to see it. It's the same thing. John Brown when he was 12 years old, he saw a black woman being whipped, and it drove him nuts. Didn't drive him nuts, drove him in the right direction, made him committed. You know, William Seward, the former governor of this state, he and his wife Fannie went down after he was governor for 4 years, went down to the South, and what they saw made him a committed abolitionist. And that's what you have right now. You've had hundreds of years of slavery, then you've had Jim Crow, and you've got the reinvention of Jim Crow right now. Read Michelle Alexander's book. I would put her into my administration, Michelle Alexander, along with Cornel West, is what I would do. And the way the judges are selected, so you have a triangulation. You have white cops, you have assistant DAs who are white, and you have judges who are white, and you have black defendants. You got to change the entire culture there. And of course, we got to change the war on drugs. We got to eliminate it. In this city, it's not a war on drugs, it's a war on people of color. That's what it is.
So we've heard changes to the police, we've heard changes in this DA's office. How about focus on how do you plan to get elected?
By getting a genie and having 3 wishes. That's how I plan to get elected. There's no shot that I'm going to get elected because I got my radical views, which is to tax Wall Street a 0.5% sales tax, which would give us $60 billion a year. We could have free subway fares. We could have affordable housing. We could have free education at a higher level. Am I looking at the time here?
You good.
Wait till I start doing some impressions for you, all right? Wait till I do my Rudy Giuliani for you. 5 years, 6 years, 7, all right, so. Or my Michael Bloomberg, gotta lighten it up a little bit, you know? Michael Bloomberg, he's out there every day. We need stop and frisk because it's a great thing. Necesitamos stop y frisco porque necesito poner más negros en carceles. That guy's got to go. He's worth 1% control 50% of the world of the city's wealth. What I would do is I would go after the real estate moguls. You know, every one of these candidates, with the exception of Mr. Gronovich, get money from real estate. You got to. This is real estate city, man. And you got Wall Street. They control it. Most of the candidates are not auditioning for them. They're auditioning for Wall Street. All right, because they'll talk to them. They want their votes. But they need Wall Street support. I would not get elected because if I did, I'd be shot. All right? They're not going to put a guy like me at the helm of the city. All right? They're not letting me in to run the city. So I don't expect to be elected, but I'm going to make noise. I need support out there to push the issues in the right direction. Make them talk about the oppression in the black community especially. I am like the godson of William Kunstler. William Kunstler, I ran his organization for 15 years. And so I'm a committed race man. That's what I am. Like Bob Ganji, he and I worked together against the Rockefeller drug laws. I would put Bob Ganji in my administration because he's a great man who's done great organizing his entire life, and he continues to. So how do I get elected? Let me see. I moved to a city of about 25 people, all right?
Or Long Island.
Or go out to Long Island, work with all those... Take some steroids and come in here and menace the black community. How's that? But you know, there's a lot of other. Am I looking at time here?
We've got your last 2 minutes.
You got my last 2 minutes. So you want to throw me some questions, or should I close with my Louis Armstrong impression?
No, we don't want the Louis Armstrong impression.
Dude, I just stepped on the dream on.
Only in New York. So I have a.
You ask John Liu to do that, all right?
I have a question.
Or Bill de Blasio, or Christine Quinn, or Anthony Weiner, who supported the war in Iraq and the Patriot Act, and that's about surveillance. Yes, somebody else about surveillance. You know, Anthony Weiner, I don't care about his scandal in his life, but the fact that he supported the Patriot Act twice, and he supported surveillance of all of us by opening the door to what's happening right now nationally. And of course the war in Iraq that he supported, which resulted in the death of 1 million people in Iraq. And he's going to come up here and try to bamboozle this crowd into thinking that he cares about them. All right. I don't like to tap.
That was just the question I was going to ask.
Yes.
So here's the other one I was going to ask. So what about the city do you like? What policies would you keep? And you pick the policy that works for you.
Well, I like affordable housing. I like to expand affordable housing, help clean up the Bronx and get rid of the asthma problem up there. Okay, not let Fresh Direct go up there. Tony and I are on the same page. He and I pretty much, in fact, if I don't get the Democratic nomination, I'll probably endorse Tony. I told him that because he and I are very similar on most stuff. And I think you should take a good look at him if I don't get the Democratic nomination. So that being said, there's a lot of things I like about it. The city's a great city, but it's all for the rich right now. Right now it's for the rich. They're pushing everybody. They want everybody out of here. They want gentrification. They want people out. They want to take these buildings and selling these buildings to the highest bidder. That's what they want to do, and not pay taxes. They're not paying their taxes. Yankees don't pay taxes. Barclays Center, can you tap? 5 seconds.
I pause you.
5 seconds. All right, you pause me. But the people are great. There's a great community organizing up here. I'm working with people like my friend over there, Jose LaSalle, who great people like him, and Bob and my friend Nick up there, and all these others who are out there trying to change the system here. You just got to keep going. There's an abolition movement in this city right now. That's what I like about it. There's a real abolition movement, and we got to do something now so our descendants down the road remember that we tried. People tried and tried and tried to fight slavery in this city. Aaron Burr did. They had the New York Anti-Slavery Society, the Pennsylvania Anti-Slavery Society. You had the great ones in Massachusetts that fought against abolition for years. And that's what we need right now, and we got it. I see the seeds of it right now. Not the seeds, but more than the seeds. People are standing up and fighting back against the system, but they're coming back strong. I was arrested 5 times at Occupy Wall Street. 5 times. Twice against stop and frisk at the 28th precinct, and they're fighting back very strong at this moment. The powers that be. Ray Kelly. Just remember one thing. Can I just say about Ray Kelly? He was the head of customs, 1998 under Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, the so-called first black president. That's BS. And you know what he did? He was the head of customs. They had the biggest scandal. It was called Flying While Black. 99% of the people coming in from this country, into this country from the Caribbean were being strip searched, and it was under Ray Kelly that happened. And then the next 4 years after that, what did he do? He became head of security for Bear Stearns, and now 12 years as J. Edgar Hoover. Man, there's going to be a lot of changes. People got to rise up, speak against it, and there's very little difference in a lot of these candidates. I'm comfortable with some, but there's very little difference. Look where they get their money. Just go to the website and see what real estate interests are giving them the money. Because they're going to get money from them, and they're going to give you the shaft. Seriously.
All right. Well, I don't know if this is Randy Credico or John Brown reincarnated, but either way, we appreciate it coming to the sound.